What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a few days ago, the XDefiant team put out a little something over on Twitter, which I did not expect whatsoever. But guys, when I tell you that this is huge news for the future of XDefiant, I truly mean this right here is huge news for the future of this game. But before we go ahead and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time, mostly everything between XDefiant and Call of Duty. But of course, I am going to be dabbling onto the new Battlefield game, of course, when that drops, and other stuff like that every so often. So if you guys are interested in mostly FPS related content, subscribe and hit that bell. And last but not least, I will not be live today, but I will be back on Monday, starting up around, I would say around 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys are interested in hopping into the live stream where we host open lobbies, and of course you can just chat it up with me over there as well, you can find a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I think all of us as a community can agree that XDefiant has one massive, huge issue, and that is the pacing of the content that we're getting for this game. Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't really mind the one map a month because I know that later down the road, this will be beneficial. Now, during its current state, I will agree that a little bit more content would benefit this game because we are obviously early on in its cycle. We're not even done with year one yet. So yeah, in the beginning of the game, having a little bit more content would be helpful, but the idea, the concept of one map a month is good, in my opinion, because imagine year 2 or even year 3 having one map a month when we already have a tremendous amount of content to play. It's going to get to a point where we're not even going to see certain maps. You're going to log in for an hour-long play session, and you probably won't even see some maps in the rotation, right? Because there's so many maps, at your disposal. So I don't think people are going to mind about one map a month later down the road because we're already going to have so much to play with. Right now, I believe people mind because there's still, I don't want to say a drought, but there is a lack of content within XDefiant. It's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy the camo grind. But compared to many other titles, there's not much for people or casual. I should really say casuals, because a lot of the hardcore audience just enjoys playing this game for the game itself. Like me personally, I love XDefiant because I think the gameplay loop is addicting, so I just enjoy hopping onto it. But others want a little bit more of an incentive, not just a camo grind, but other things to bring them back into the experience, right? I mean, look at Black Ops 6, for example, with their recent event. They have a brand new event that, is going to take a while, but it's a community event that everybody's working towards, and it's tons of things to get, whether it's, a brand new stock, perks, a new weapon, a score streak, so on and so forth. There's content, right? It's not necessarily skins, but it's stuff that we can play with, and maps, guns, attachments, all of that stuff would be welcome within the XDefiant experience, but the problem that I see the most is that it takes too long to move on to the next season, right? Season 1 and Season 2 have been very, very long experiences, very drawn-out experiences. The majority of the hardcore audience honestly finishes in maybe less than a month, leaving them with 2, 3, 4 months plus of time to just kind of sit around and just, again, play the game for the game. Now, obviously, this can be fixed with events, right? Mid-season events or just, other things like the Halloween event, which the Halloween event was really bad, bro. So I hope we don't get any more Halloween events. But the limited time mode where it was the double barrel shotguns and stuff, that's fun stuff. Things like that are good to bring people back into the experience. We need more stuff like that. But personally, I believe the seasons are just simply too freaking long. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, over on Twitter, we got a little bit of a response that made me extremely happy to see. This right here is the XDefiant team going ahead and responding to someone posting up a clip, obviously, using the sonar goggles and everything. But someone responded, going by the name of Sensio81, saying more updates and season, more short, not 60 to 70 days, but 45 to 50 max. And in response, the XDefiant team said, Sensio wants more updates and shorter seasons. Feedback noted. This right here is massive. This is what I'm talking about, because this will make things so much more enjoyable, not only for the hardcore audience, but for the casual audience. Like I literally just said, it sucks having to wait months to get back into the experience, right? Especially as someone who enjoys XDefiant, you're going to be running through these battle passes. And on top of that, they increased the speed that you go through the battle pass within Season 2. I don't know why they did this, but they did that, which made it even easier to complete it. These seasons need to be shorter, 1,010%. If we were able to shrink down, like Sensio said, instead of 60 to 70 days down to 45 to 50 max, that would be great because that means every, month to 2 months, I would say around 2 months, we will get a brand new season, right? And that is what we need as a community, to be able to have more content come out at a quicker pace, more skins, more weapon camos, all of the above, double XP tokens. There's a lot of stuff packed into these, battle passes that are phenomenal. And on top of that, that means we will be able to get more operators, factions sooner than later. Because right now, these, factions are kind of spaced out a decent amount, which is not bad whatsoever. You think about a game like Rainbow Six Siege, where they have so many different operators. It's not bad to space them out, or else it's not going to be as interesting, or the developers are going to lose, creativity because they're making too many operators, so on and so forth. So I get it. Long-term goal, just like when it comes to the maps, how I was explaining that one map a month is not bad later down the road. But just like with the maps, right now in this current moment where XDefiant's at, I think a boost would not hurt it whatsoever. Later on, I could see them slowing down a bit and spacing things out to how it is right now. But in its current spot, I think the more, the better. The more things to keep people interested, to keep people coming back, interacting with the game. New factions, weapons, all of the above are things that people want. Right? 110%. I know tons of people are waiting for new assault rifles, new SMGs, new sniper rifles. But again, weapons are tied to the seasons. We're not just going to get a random weapon dropping with an event. No, they are tied to the seasons. So the only time we're going to see new weapons is with a new season. So shorter seasons mean more content overall. Like I said, maps, factions, and weapons can all be introduced at a quicker pace. And the other thing I really enjoyed seeing from that post was when they said more updates. Not just shorter seasons, but more updates. I love to hear this because, again, especially as a creator, I love keeping up with the game and seeing how things are going. But, the patch notes have been kind of, getting a bit longer and longer, like every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, sometimes even a month long, where we used to get it every single week. Now, it's understandable. When the game first launched, clearly it's going to be a lot of problems. So yes, there's probably going to be patches every single week. Just like, for Call of Duty, for example, right? The game just dropped, Black Ops 6. We're getting patches every single week, basically. Sometimes even, 2 times a week. But that's not going to last. It never does last because when the game starts getting ironed out, you don't need to patch it as much. Same goes for XDefiant, right? Same goes for any game out there. The longer it's out, the less you need to patch. But I still think just keeping the community up to date and maybe seeing them get a bit more active on Twitter again and giving us even just tiny little patch notes on tiny things that they're changing would 110% go a very long way. But overall, I am extremely happy to see that this is the direction that the team is going to be pushing with XDefiant. Again, I understand that they're in a, kind of a mindset where they want to polish off the game before anything else. And I understand that. I completely agree with that. They have made it very clear many of times that they want to make sure the netcode is fixed and up to date and everything is smooth before hyper-focusing, making sure that, the content looks better, the microtransactions look clean, so on and so forth. And I want them to do that as well. Don't get me wrong. I want them to do that. And with all honesty, I don't really see any of these changes happening, before Season 4. I think that we are going to see Season 3 and Season 4 go at the same exact pace that they're already going. So they're going to be a bit long. And now, if that changes, that they do shorten the time of those seasons, that would be great. Because, again, we do know that Season 2 is supposed to be the major netcode change, and Season 3 is going to be the big, turnaround where it's going to be a hyper-focus on content. So, who knows? Maybe with Season 3, they will decide to change their mind and, shorten up the seasons and get more content out and pumping. But I'll say this, and I think a lot of you guys will agree with me. Even the people who want content, need more content in XDefiant, I think you guys will agree with me on this. Quality over quantity, right? 110%. Something that XDefiant has been nailing is the quality of all the content they put into the game. Whether it's the variety of weapons that are added, the outstanding maps. I mean, again, I say it all the time, but these are some of the best maps I've ever played in FPS history. Seriously, they are phenomenal. I hope that they keep this quality. I don't want them to shorten the seasons, double up on content if it means that the content that we're getting is filler content, quote-unquote filler content that is just subpar. I want the content to still be premium, right? And if that means that we need to wait until after Season 4, until we can see the shorter seasons, then so be it. Ride out Season 3, ride out Season 4, and then afterwards, if you guys want to shorten up the seasons and, start giving us a lot more content, maybe you guys have enough time to prep the content, then I am all down for it. But if you guys can handle it and you have the content already, so it's not too much of a, a bother for you guys, then yeah, by all means, shorten up the season sooner. Regardless, I am just happy to see that this is the direction that the developers are taking with this game, and also that Ubisoft is giving this team the freedom to be able to do such a thing, Like, that has been probably my favorite part about this, because Ubisoft, we all know, is not the best, right? A lot of people hate Ubisoft, and rightfully so. But when it comes to XDefiant, it's so strange because these devs have no shackles on them at all. They communicate with us, they talk with us, they change exactly what the community wants, XP rates, double XP tokens, everything, all of the above, anything that a publisher would be super on top of. Someone like Activision, EA, anybody like that. You would think Ubisoft would be on top of it, but they're not. It's very strange, but this team has had so much freedom, and it's been great, because honestly, the freedom that the team is getting makes the community, us, feel like we have freedom as well within this game, that we are a part of the process, and that is just an outstanding feeling, in my personal opinion. But ladies and gentlemen, go down in the comment section, let me know what you guys think about this stuff. Do you guys think that it's a good idea for them to go ahead and shorten the seasons and also, give more frequent updates, or do you think it's a bad idea? Do you think they can handle it? Do you think the content will still be good, or do you think that the content will suffer if they shorten the seasons and start trying to double up on everything in the future? But as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I will be live on Monday starting at around 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time over on Twitch. Of course, you guys can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.